Hi everyone, it's Amy. This is my month 40 post-op update from gastric bypass surgery. I am now in the maintenance phase of my journey, and although I've kind of been like doing a maintenance type thing, because I actually reached my number goal weight that I had originally set out for of 135 pounds. I reached that about 6 weeks ago. So now I'm just maintaining to keep that. And of course there's like a 5-pound difference here and there, there always is. But I'm within the range that I want to be. And like I've mentioned in previous videos, there is plastic surgery that I want to get done to remove some of the excess skin. And with all that done, I will be down at least 10 pounds lighter. So it'll definitely put me in the range that I need to be for my height. So yeah, I started at 364 pounds. I'm now at 135 pounds. It's 229 pounds gone. I've lost like 140 inches all over like your neck and so forth. I have like all these measurements and whatnot, and it feels really weird. Sometimes it's so surreal to even think where I was and where I am now. And I remember the mindset that I had when I first started. I'm like, even if I just lost 100 pounds, I'd be okay, And I was at 100 pounds lost, and I felt great. And then I thought, even if I didn't lose any more weight from here, I'd be fine. But I don't feel as good as I did 150 pounds heavier than I did now, even though I thought I did. Yes, getting all that, every little bit helps, don't get me wrong. But being where I am today, I really, I feel good all the time. Days, though, that I don't get my water intake in, or that maybe I've had too many carbs, I feel it. Like, the next day I'm sluggish. Like, I feel like there's just sludge running through my body. So, yeah, I definitely have noticed a difference in my eating and what I drink and so forth. And, and I do try to stay on task. I have to admit, some days I don't, and I fall hard. And, when my clothes are getting a little tight, or maybe the scale is not saying what I want, it is a reminder, and I have to get back on track. With that being said, though, it's kind of funny, like, I have put myself out there, and I know that I'm on the web. I get that. I'm not, oblivious to that fact. But I also didn't put it out as an open forum to, just attack me. And some of the attacks I've been getting lately, I was never that attacked as a heavy person. I had people not look my way. I had people treat me differently, but not be downright mean to me. And, I'm over 3 years of my journey, and it's just now starting. I was like, ouch, ouch, ouch. But again, the reason that I do my videos is for the ones that are starting the journey, or that need the extra boost, or because there's people out there that I follow and that that inspire me, and that's what I want. Also, it's kind of like a recollection for me to kind of go back to see where I was, what I was doing, what I was thinking. Because although I like to think that my memory is great, it's not. And I can't remember certain things, or like what was happening, or, even, just different things. I just like to have the progression, the journal, the so forth, and I like to see what's been going on and whatnot. So anyways, some of the attacks I got was basically, well, if you would have worked out the whole time, or ate better, yes, that is an issue. It was, I wasn't eating good all the time, and I didn't work out and whatnot. But some of it goes a little bit beyond that. At about 15, I had gotten put on antidepressants because I was just having such a hard time. And before that time, I was anorexic. I was so scared of being fat. I starved myself. I exercised all the time. I would do like 300 crunches every night before bed, and I'd get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and run for a couple of miles, and I would hardly eat. And, I went from one extreme to the other. I know that. And during my teenage years, when I was going through the depression and everything, they put me on antidepressants. And within 6 months, I had gained 80 pounds. And I kept telling my doctor, hey, I'm gaining weight. And it wasn't that I was eating bad. I wasn't. And she was like, oh, it's no big deal. Well, at first I needed to put the weight on because I was too thin. But then it got to be where I was getting overweight. And she didn't see a problem with it. By the time that I reached being more, 80 pounds heavier, I decided I wasn't taking it. So I got off the pills, and, of course, against medical advice, against my parents, everything. But I didn't like the way it felt, whatnot. And then, kids, it happens. It's not an excuse, but, pregnancy, I did put on weight. And with my first kid, I didn't really gain a whole lot, but my second I did. And then the depression came back again, and just some of the medications. I was on so much medication at one time, and you can see in my earlier videos how zombified I was on those medications. And every side effect on all those was weight gain. And, it was like, at one time I was taking 12 different things for, what was going on upstairs and everything else that was going on with me. And weight gain was it. And, and even there was a time I was so hardcore Weight Watchers, and I love Weight Watchers. I still wasn't losing. And, I was doing everything and exercising the best I can, at 300 pounds. I even talked to my doctor, and they had me, and they just couldn't figure out. Well, then they realized my thyroid went out. And that was putting significant weight on, but it wasn't like something they caught right away. I mean, it took like all these things happening. Like I wasn't getting my monthly period for like 4 months, and I wasn't pregnant, and like all these things were going on. Finally, they narrowed it down, figured it out. So there are, things that happen, and yes, eating wasn't, one of my better choices that I did. It was something that I did to handle stress, and I didn't exercise. But it wasn't like I just sat there all day eating 15 pizzas and bonbons all day to get that big. There was some other circumstances to it. And, for people just to attack and be like, hey, yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda. There are things I coulda, shoulda, did, but I didn't. And what is the point in living in the past when it's nothing I can change? I make the effort now. I've changed. The surgery may be dramatic to some, and that's fine. It was a personal choice for me. It saved my life in so many ways. Not only physically, but mentally. I mean, even 4 years ago, I couldn't even imagine being alive. Like, I didn't want to live. And not that every day is rosy now. No, by far. It's so not. But I have the will to live, and I want to be better for my kids, and I want to be there, and I'm able to reach out now and do so much more and actually be the example that I want to be. So, not everybody's journey is the same. Not everybody follows the path that everybody needs to. And if anybody really knows me, they know my path of life, and everything I do is far off from everybody else. Like, if the path goes this way, I'm like way over here. Like, I just veer off all the time. I got to do my own thing, and that's just me. That's how I learn. That's how I grow. That's how I progress. And, it frustrates those close to me because they're like, why don't you just do it this way? I don't know. Why don't I? But in the same aspect, it's just kind of like, that's just not me. I'm not the average person by far. I'm so off my rocker half the time, and people are just like, Amy, what is going on with you? Anyways, so I just kind of wanted to show you, I busted out my pants again. Let me see if I can get settled. I'm in my room, that's why I have that. Oops, sorry. Alright, so this is my starting pants. Yeah, so, like, can't even see, okay. So I have that much. I mean, like, it's amazing the one time I fit in these. I mean, the legs are, like, my whole body now fits in one leg. So this is my starting pants. I keep these for a particular reason. One, to show how far I've come. Also, to say you're never getting back in these. This, though, and I'm telling you, this is the only pair of bigger clothes that I have, because I don't want an excuse to be able to, like, oh, I can gain some when I have clothes to fit into. No, that's not going to happen. So, once I outgrow, or not outgrow, because you don't really outgrow when you're getting thinner, but when I can no longer fit because they're too big, those go. I donate them, or, if there are people within the community that are in that size, I'll give them to them. I do not have a reason to go back to them, so I don't keep. I just kept my pants from the day of my surgery as a token of where I'm going, where I went, and so forth. And to kind of, like, show myself, because sometimes I still have the mentality of, like, my body's there, and then I put the pants that I'm in now, like, I'm in a 5 now, and those were, I think, a 30. Yeah, there's a huge difference. So that's the only reason. So do not keep clothes. Do not keep clothes that are too big. Get rid of them. You don't want to have, room. You don't need room. You don't need room. I also don't want to go back to the W section, the women's. No, I'm good at misses, at juniors. I'm good there. That's where I'm staying. That's where I'm shopping. So, anyways, to all those that support and, like, offer, like, the greatest advice and, like, love. I love you guys. Thank you. There's so many things that I'm so thankful for, and I'm thankful for everybody in this community. And, for the people that are starting it, that, have watched, the whatever you watch of mine, and see the craziness that I go through and stuff. Thank you. And to those that, have to put their 2 cents in a non-positive, constructive way, well, to each its own, and, I do this for those that need it, and to the rest, I just kind of have to shake it off my back. Anyways, y'all have a great day. It is, like I said, my month 40, post-op. It is October. I'm freezing. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to tell you. Yeah, I'm even colder now than before, and I used to be really cold all the time as a heavy person, and now that I lost the weight, I was like, I'm freezing all the time. So, yeah. And then somebody else asked me, are you more ticklish now that you've lost the weight? And I just realized I am. So So those are little things. Anyways, yeah, see, randomness, like my mind just goes, and yes, I know I talk really fast because my mind's always going, and anyways, have a great day. Bye, guys.